Welcome to Allen Avenue Unitarian Universalist Church's online worship. I'm the Reverend Donna Dahlham, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I have the honor of serving this beloved community. Our mission calls us to celebrate diversity, encourage spiritual growth, and promote social responsibility while we travel and care for the earth. We are freely gathered, open and welcoming, supported by your contributions, which can be made by the donate button on our website, by going to the Breeze program if you're a member, or by mailing your check to 524 Allen Avenue, Portland, Maine. Please note if your donation is a pledge or a gift to our Share the Plate. The Share the Plate recipient for May is Ruth's Reusable Resources. Each day, children in Maine attend school without needed pencils, paper, and other supplies. At the same time, businesses in Maine dispose of these same basic items. Ruth's Reusable Resources transfers those unwanted supply to children and teachers. See ruths.org for more information about their work. I'm so glad you've joined us and hope that you'll join us following the service for coffee and conversation. Our call to worship words this morning are those of the Reverend Scott Taylor. We gather as a house of stories. As we learn of those who have gone before, the way in front of us becomes more clear. As we weave together the tales of who we are, our loneliness lessens, and the web of our oneness is revealed. As we listen deeply, in those times of tender trust, we descend into the longings and learnings, hopes and fears of the humanity we share. Beneath the wells from which we drink, there is a deeper well that feeds us all. Come, let us tell each other the tales of our thirst. Let us share the stories that sustain us all. Come, let us be together, creating sacred space.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul.
Good morning. My name is Karen Stevenson, and this is my daughter Cora. And we would like to share with you our chalice lighting words from the Reverend Dr. David Breeden, A New Story into Being. We tender this flame, opening the book, turning to a page yet to be written, opening a story yet to be told. May we fill this fresh page wisely. May we write a new story into being. May we together inscribe the page with hope. I invite you now with your home chalice to join us in lighting the flame. Okay.
You are a storyteller. Maybe you wouldn't describe yourself that way, but you are. Every time you tell someone what happened when they weren't there, you are a storyteller. When you tell someone what is happening in your mind, you are a storyteller. And even if you're a person who doesn't say much, there is someone you tell stories to every day. Yourself. You fill imaginary books with pictures and thoughts all day. Your eyes blink and the page turns. Who are you in the stories you tell yourself? Are you a villain? A hero? A goof? A peacemaker? Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. Sometimes they aren't true, and often they don't tell the whole story. If you make a mistake and say, "I'm so stupid," that is a harmful story because it is neither true nor complete. Find the peacemaker storyteller inside you, the voice that doesn't force you to be a villain or a hero in your own story. The peacemaker in you sees you as the beautiful, imperfect human you are. A human that learns by trying new things. A human that learns by making mistakes. A human that grows by helping and healing in big and small ways. It's precisely these things that make your stories interesting. You are a complex person in a big world with lots of other complex people. You are on a planet that is always changing. You are in a story that is always changing. And you are changed by the stories you tell yourself and those you share with others. May we all speak our truth so we learn what is true for us.
Where is our holy church, where race and class unite, as equal persons in the search for beauty, truth, and right? Where is our holy writ, where'er a human heart a sacred torch of truth has lit, by inspiration taught? Where is our Holy One, a mighty host respond? The people rise in every land to break the captive's bond. Where is our Holy Land within the human soul, wherever free minds truly seek with character the goal? Where is our paradise in aspiration's sight, wherein we hope to see arise 10,000 years of right?
I invite you into this space of reflection with the words of John Alou Johnstone. On this day of honoring mothers, we acknowledge the complexity of the relationships in our lives, especially family relationships, powerful influences. In witness of that power and whatever feelings are awakened in us, Let us bring our hearts and minds into focus on the holy and the good. Let us be together in the spirit of prayer or meditation. Spirit of life and love, bless all our families. Bless each of us. Thank you for those who have nurtured our lives. Thank you for all those who have helped us grow into who we are, whatever their role: grandparent, step-parent, foster parent, caregiver, extended family friend, or teacher. We recognize and treasure the nurturers in our own lives, past and present, whoever they may be. Comfort those whose parent or child has died. Loss may feel acute again today as we witness others celebrate. May grief be muted by the memory of love and the consolation of others. May those with difficult relationships with their mothers or with other parents or with their children find ways to appreciate what has been good and to grow from what has been difficult. May goodness be born from any struggles that exist. We commit ourselves anew to the continuity of the generations, whether we raise children or have raised them ourselves, or whether we seek other ways to shape the future. May we honor our struggle to offer to those coming after us the love, the justice, the wisdom, and the guidance that we may be able to give. May the blessings we have been given by previous generations be transmitted anew to the next. Amen, and blessed be.
In the quiet peace of the dawn, as the waking birds begin their song, with the sunshine warm on my face, all of nature fills me with its grace, and I feel within my reverie, all of life is calling me, calling me to be more whole, to wake God's weary sick, and while live, all of life is calling me. In the welcome warmth of a smile, and the wondrous laughter of a child, in a friend who stands by my side, or a homeless stranger passing by.
Say these words when you lie down and when you rise up, when you go out and when you return, in times of mourning and in times of joy. Inscribe them on your doorposts, embroider them on your garments, tattoo them on your shoulders, teach them to your children, your neighbors, your enemies. Recite them in your sleep here in the cruel shadow of empire. Another world is possible. Thus spoke the prophet Roque d'Auton. Altogether they have more death than we, but altogether we have more life than they. There is more bloody death in their hands than we could ever wield, unless we lay down our souls to become them, and then we will lose everything. So instead, imagine winning. This is your sacred task. This is your power. Imagine every detail of winning, the exact smell of the summer streets in which no one has been shot, the muscles you have never unclenched from worry, gone soft as newborn skin. The sparkling taste of food when we know that no one on earth is hungry, that the beggars are fed, that the old man under the bridge and the woman wrapping herself in thin sheets in the back of a car, and the children who suck on stones nest under a flock of roofs that keep multiplying their shelter. Lean with all your being towards that day when the poor of the world shake down a rain of good fortune out of the heavy clouds, and justice rolls down like waters. Defend the world in which we win as if it were your child. It is your child. Defend it as if it were your lover. It is your lover. When you inhale and when you exhale, breathe the possibility of another world into the 37.2 trillion cells of your body until it shines with hope. Then imagine more. Imagine rape is unimaginable. Imagine war is scarcely a credible
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this joy that I have, the world didn't give it it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. All this strength that I have, this strength that I have, this strength that I have. Oh yeah, now the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have. Oh yeah, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have. Oh yeah, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. All this love that I have, this love that I have. Oh yeah, now the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it to me. This love that I have. Oh yeah, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this love that I have, yeah, the world didn't give it to me. Singing, the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Oh, this pride that I have, this pride that I have, this pride that I have. Oh yeah, now the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have. I said the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this pride that I have, yeah, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. All this peace that I have, oh, yeah. The world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give me my peace that I have. Oh yeah, now the world didn't give it to me. Won't you sing about peace? This peace that I have. Oh yeah, now the world didn't give it to me. I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. All this joy that I have, this joy that I have, this joy that I have. Oh yeah, now the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have. I said the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
Resistance Revival Chorus believes in the words written by the poet Toy Darracott when she wrote, "Joy is an act of resistance." We believe in the words of Mr. Harry Belafonte, who said, "When the movement is strong, the music is strong." We sing to revive the hearts of those who fight for social justice, and we sing together for freedom.
It was the end of a day on my way home from church, and I'm at this intersection that I've been through at least 100 times. This beat up red truck closes into the back of my bumper, and I start to think, and I write this story, oh no, I'm gonna be in an accident. This truck is gonna hit the back of my car. That doesn't happen. But the truck comes up beside me and stops. Now, I'm right behind the next car waiting for the light to change, but the truck has several open spots and could have pulled ahead but didn't. And so the story I write in my mind is, oh no, I wonder what they want. So I glance over and she's waving at me and I wave back. She seemed friendly enough and I started to think, is this somebody I know? But I don't remember. She's motioning to me like this, and finally I figure it out. She wants me to roll down my window, so I roll down my window, and she leans over to me out the window and says, "Hey, I love your bumper stickers." And I say, "Hey, thanks." Totally not the story I had written in my mind. A moment passes, and eventually she gets ready to take off again, but not without yelling one more time out her window, "I love you." And off she goes, and the light changes. Now my pulse had started to race when she had pulled up beside me, and then when I noticed her greeting, it started to go down as I anticipated a different kind of interchange. What a way to end the day. It's not what I was waiting for, because I've come to expect that when people are following me through traffic, it's for no good reason. I used to do home care social work for years and years, so driving around Androscoggin County was something that I did day after day and hour after hour. One day, a car followed me through several neighborhoods in downtown Lewiston, and I noticed, and at first I thought, well, they're just headed in the same direction. And then eventually I thought, okay, this is a little strange. They're still following me. But I didn't have much to think about it. I pulled over, and then I look in my rearview mirror, and the person is getting out of their car. They had pulled over as well behind me. And they're walking up toward me. I wait, and they're saying, hey, hey. And I notice they have a pamphlet in their hand. They had pulled up behind me to give me a religious tract. Now, that day I figured perhaps the person saw my Grace Happens bumper sticker that I used to have on my car next to my rainbow bumper sticker. And when I read the tract, which said, "Are you sure?" I thought perhaps the driver behind me might have thought, there's still some hope for this person. And the tract read in a way that was totally not my Unitarian Universalist theology. It was not filled with accepting the inherent worth and dignity of every person in the wonder of diversity. I would be ready next time. I started carrying my little folded set of UU principles and purposes. Another day, as I pulled away from my home and entered onto the main street in Auburn, a group of youth were behind me in a car. And when we got to the part of the road where you can come up beside someone, they drove up beside me and rolled down their window. It was summer. We all had our windows rolled down. And they started to yell things that were not so wonderful. I had started to wonder if this group of people might be the ones who kept stealing my rainbow flag until I finally hammered it onto my porch. The stories we tell lay the groundwork for what we anticipate in the future, and these stories can open up anticipation as well for joy individually and as a community. Between settled ministers is one of those times when UU congregations look closely at the stories they tell. And you did this well during your time of interim ministry with Reverend Anita. The stories we tell fuel our way forward. In the summary of ideas generated at the house meetings during your interim period, you mentioned your greatest passion and energy was around this statement, and I quote, "Allen Avenue Unitarian Universalist Church wishes to be a cross-generational, interconnected, larger and more diverse community." The report reads, "Everything else seems secondary to that vision." The story, however, that you told during this time also included a kind of humility required for transformation. Regret at the silo functioning was noted, along with this aspiration for collaboration. And we are here at the celebration of the completion of the stewardship campaign, recognizing that the stories we tell shape the way we engage, shape our anticipation for the future, and shape our very belief system about how we understand and anticipate our ability to live into that amazing vision. Our stewardship campaign was Nurturing Beloved Community, which invited each of us to consider our part here at Allen Avenue UU Church. What is the part of the story that we contribute to? We're reminded and invited into our aspirations during a stewardship time, especially. When I asked what helped to build this trust and community during a previous service, and you loaded the chat box with things like, This place is where I feel welcome. The commitment of the choir, my spiritual enrichment group, the music, members working together to sustain community, the commitments of so many people to create community, starting again with hope and trust that things will work out. People who were children here 30 years ago still want to be part of our community, and people striving to be their best selves. A supportive, fun, creative religious ed committee, a home of friends and potential new friends. People just keep showing up. Support in raising my kids, especially in difficult times. Kindness and support, being able to say no when I need to. Social awareness and activities, religious education relationship over many years. Nurturing beloved community creates possibilities and new stories. In Suzanne Cole's book, Uncovering Spiritual Narratives Using Story and Pastoral Care and Ministry, she writes, and I quote, "Moving from an individually focused view that I was solely responsible for my story to a fuller view that I am part of a system that operates in stories and fills our lives, seems the best way to explain an opportunity to decrease oppression and invite liberation." And French philosopher Paul Ricoeur described the postmodern concept of narrative this way: narrative is the mental structuring process through which we define our existential relationships with the physical and conceptual worlds. This expanded postmodern understanding of narrative, along with other postmodern thinking, focuses on the legitimacy of multiple descriptions of life and the world. The story we create together matters. It's part of the foundation required to break down the silos that you mentioned and learned about in your interim period with Reverend Anita. It's part of the foundation that helps create a story that engages your aspirations to be a cross-generational, interconnected, larger, and more diverse community. The stories we tell create possibilities for collaboration. The story that just unfolded this last weekend for the Earth Day celebration was one of collaboration with the Building and Grounds Gardening Committee, the Religious Education Committee, and the Social Justice Committee. This is a story of how Allen Avenue Unitarian Universalist Church comes together for joy and care of our small plot of earth. What will we expect from our community? And what story
every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land.
As we leave this space together, let us remember that the stories continue to be told, that we have this wonderful, amazing opportunity to decide which story we will tell. Let us keep in mind that the stories we tell shape the future, and we all have a place in contributing to that.